Welcome to the Cincy Postcast. I'm Kevin Wallace, and before we get started with today's episode, I get to tell you about our great friends over at Streetside Brewery, the best daggone brewery you're going to find in or even around Cincinnati. It is a fantastic spot. It is one of my favorite places to go to take friends from out of town, which happened recently. Absolutely love Streetside Brewery. Why do I love it? They have a rotating cast of food trucks out front for a delicious food option every time you go. They brew some of the best beer ever. It is a wide variety. There's something there for everybody. The staff there, incredibly friendly. The environment around the brewery is fantastic. The overlook into the production area, the patio where you can just kick back and relax. It is beautiful. It is lovely in a nice little walkable neighborhood. What is not to love about Streetside Brewery? So go check them out. And thank you, Streetside, for sponsoring this episode. And on today's episode, oh boy, international break means we get a little loosey-goosey around here, okay? There's a quick little international roundup with our FC Cincinnati players around the world, what they're doing with their national teams. After the international roundup, it is Patreon questions, listener questions. We try to get through all of the March questions, and we do. How about that? And then finally, in part two, we are going back to the film room. It has been a long time. We had to dust off the equipment to watch The Black Hole, a Disney movie, quote unquote, classic from the 70s. Strong feelings are shared. But when we get out of that, boy, you got yourselves a nice postcast. Joining me to talk about all of that and more, I am joined by two gentlemen who are so glad that Miles Robinson and Roman Celentano were not involved in the U.S. men's national team. I'm joined by the Chief, and I'm joined by Grayson. Chief, welcome back to the pod. We missed you. We made an executive decision last week. The World's Gam also went on international break. So
yeah, I heard there were some technical difficulties involved, so I can't fault the decision. I wouldn't want to listen to the World's Gam without me either. So
yeah. And the technical difficulty was a severe lack of Chief. So
yeah, yes. Obviously, I do think that we need to. So I was out of town this past weekend. I took the wife to Asheville, North Carolina, for a couple of days. Her spring break, that sort of thing. Hitting up a couple out of town breweries, it got me to thinking we do need some World's Gam stickers that I can throw out there just to confuse the hipsters. They're like, what brewery is this? It's like, no. It's a terrible soccer podcast you can listen to instead.
I like that. I like the idea of us defacing public property. I think that's
I like that too. Yeah, but there's certain spaces that are there's certain spaces that are more acceptable to deface than others, I think.
Yeah.
Like, inside of the men's room stall, the perfect place to think about what kind of MLS content would I like to subject myself to during my free time.
You need one of those handy, like telescoping, like sticker putter uppers. That's what I've found the street artists amongst us are using. That's how you get like the stickers way high up on streets.
You can just reach too. That works for some of us.
Some of us can just reach up real high.
Happy to be back, though. Thank you guys for carrying on my absence.
Speaking of reaching, I was speaking to a 6'10" individual the other day who is an avid skier.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I'd like to go back to make sure he actually is 6'10" then in that case.
Well, yeah. Well, this individual played I'll disambiguate his identity slightly. He played college basketball in the ACC.
Oh. Is he an alum of Duke? Because he's having a really bad night if that's the case.
I think he might be having a pretty good night, actually.
Well,
noted.
Yeah. Well, some of us aren't as athletic as your average college athlete. So I suppose that, if any amongst us of we'll say the more vertically inclined members of society are going to be skiing, I'm guessing it's probably someone that had the ability to not shred their ACL on a basketball court.
That tracks.
Or maybe recovered from an ACL surgery already successfully and has the confidence that they can come back from an injury. That's more where I'm at, really. The idea of getting hurt performing some sort of a recreational activity, it becomes less appealing the older you get, because you start to think about rehab sounds miserable. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want surgery. I can deal with. Rehab sucks.
You're gonna have to have it at some point, regardless. Wouldn't you rather have it from skiing or something than from I got out of my car, stepped on the curb, didn't quite take.
I coughed funny.
Right.
My
but I'm hoping that one's 20 years in the future, 30 years in the future. Though.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to put it off as long as possible.
Fair enough.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move this along.
Should we move it along?
Not favor the bold.
Well,
Grayson seems like he has a flight to catch here, so we may as well keep going.
Yeah.
He might. Grayson, let me ask you this. Our boys in blue were over there, so we don't have to play them over here. And did anything catch your eye on international duty for FC Cincinnati players around the globe? There are still other games to be played. Not everybody's wrapped up their time.
Man, it really wasn't the best international window for our players. Pavel didn't make the match day roster for Czechia. Miles and Roman seem to have had to pull out of international duty, which you really hate to see, because I think both of them, Miles definitely more so, Roman, Miles more so, but Roman kind of inexplicably as well seemed to have the inside track to World Cup roster spots. And you got to question, if their injuries are going to keep them out this summer. The one who I think kind of flew under the radar, Sami Gidi for the Slovakia U21s did beat Kazakhstan 3-1, and Gidi had an assist in that match and went the full 90. So
I was kind of curious. Are we certain Pavel made it to Europe? Because I've seen lots of videos places where the TSA lines are 5 and 6 hours. And Pavel strikes me as a very polite individual. Pavel strikes me as the kind of person that wouldn't pull my flight leaves in 15 minutes. Can I cut in front of you?
Excuse me, my flight, it leave in 15 minutes.
He seems like the nicest guy. He seems like the coolest, all for Cincy dude. And I could totally see him. Are you
also waiting in line for a flight? Okay, I wait behind you.
No. Right. Yeah, no, and I could just see him being stuck for hours, because he is such a nice guy. He would let everybody get in front of him. He may still be in line at CVG, waiting to go somewhere. And the coaching staff is we don't know what happened to Pavel. Somebody put out a search for him.
I gotta say, obviously huge bummer for Robinson and Roman to not be in the squad with the U.S. men's national team. You'd have to think, after the drubbing that the red, white, and blue took, that maybe in an ideal world, Miles is on that field and it's not as bad of a loss, or they're both on the bench and their stock sort of raises up just because the guys in front of them clearly have let them down. So it would have been an interesting thing, certainly if Roman was in the mix, if the coaching staff doesn't decide, maybe see what this guy looks like for a half.
Yeah, right. I mean, they've just had a lot of time with Miles. You can press the mute button, Chief.
I'm about to sneeze, and I was trying not to do that. And I successfully avoided it.
You can press mute when you do that.
Nope. I'm powering through.
They've seen tons of Miles, so I feel like as long as he's healthy, he's got a pretty good argument. My worry more is with Roman, where it's like he hasn't been like in every camp, but he seems to have, as of late, kind of played himself into like that. Maybe we're looking at him for the third goalkeeper role, and for him to have to then miss the camp.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're going to miss a camp, at least miss a camp where you get the shit beat out of you.
Sure.
Like, that's the one to miss where.
Love it.
Where you can say to yourself, like, no, anybody but the guys we have out there.
Though New England Revolution, maybe not as good as Belgium. So just I'll throw that out there. But
that was the, you can blame that on the defense. And I'm not going to worry about who might have been. I don't know who was playing on the defense at the time.
Right. No, if only he had somebody like Miles Robinson in front of him, like a U.S. men's national team caliber defender, maybe things would have been different. I'm very excited by these camps because I don't even want to watch the games. I just want to get online afterwards and just bask in the discourse of guy with 4 American flag emojis in his name and something like USMNT Prospects 5 just goes off on how MLS is ruining and we got to get these MLS bums out of here. And then, Weston McKennie is a disgrace. He should never play for the United States. And just these just like nuclear level of hot takes about a team that's going to get knocked out in the group stage anyway. And I love it. It's my favorite part of any international window. And without the pressure of having to get online into the mentions and start defending FC Cincinnati players, this was gold for me. I could just sit back and watch everything burn.
Yeah, I'll tell you, like, when the World Cup happens, I'll watch the U.S. play. I'll hope they advance. But my only interest right now is not just with the U.S., with anybody. Can we get FC Cincinnati players into the World Cup?
Yeah.
Like that's my only interest at the moment.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm going hard for our players. Okay, Slovakia got knocked out. So like Gidi, even though he's only with the U21s right now, no chance. Czechia is still in it,
Yeah.
So if they advance, Pavel, he's in the group. Who knows? We want Miles. We want to. Yeah,
I'll commit. Have they announced where everybody's playing yet? Do we know that already, or do we just have the locations?
No, I don't think they've announced where everybody's playing yet.
If it is drivable and Pavel is on a roster, I will drive to go watch Pavel. Like, that's where I'm at right now. Like, I will go there just to cheer for Pavel, and I will boo loudly whenever someone is subbed in that is not Pavel.
Yeah.
And it will confuse a lot of people, but I'm like, no, I'm ride or die for one player and one player only. And that's the world's strongest man, Pavel Bucha.
Hell yeah.
That's the banner we bring to the stadium on away days. Atlanta.
All right. And that's international soccer.
That is international soccer. That's the joy of international soccer right there. There are an army of weirdos that just support everything Lionel Messi does. I'm going to be the weirdo that supports everything Pavel Bucha does in the World Cup.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Because he's a better person than Lionel Messi is. So I will feel better about supporting him because he is not an awful human being like Lionel Messi is.
Yeah. Tough matchup with Denmark in the playoffs. So
they've been holding him back. So they're ready to unleash Pavel against the Danes.
Against the Danes. I've always hated the Danes. This is an anti-Denmark podcast right here.
Absolutely. This is an anti-Denmark podcast.
Right. They look like a weird appendage in Northern Europe. Nobody likes them.
If Pavel plays, we get Greenland.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how this works. No, we canceled the chef of Noma, right? So like Denmark's reeling.
We did cancel him. I forgot.
Yeah, Denmark taking L's everywhere. What's more going to matter?
Is his name Rene? I don't remember exactly.
I forget his name, but yeah, that place. Boo.
Fuck
Some of those stories were rough, man. That was tough.
Nobody likes Denmark.
Oh God. Well, with the soccer out of the way, let's get on to Patreon questions. That's why everybody's here. Patreon questions. For the
everyone's here for what we do after. Let's be real. But we can do the Patreon questions now.
Okay. Every month, we got to pay bills. Okay. And believe it or not, there are bills to pay, and folks supporting us financially.
There was one other person that's going to have to pay a bill. Miles Robinson got fined for not leaving the field quickly after giving a red card. And I find that to be tremendously funny. Like,
that's ridiculous.
Just insult to injury.
That's ridiculous.
Just so stupid.
As Laurel Failer pointed out, there was a VAR check that happened longer than Miles was on the field. Laurel actually said that she thought it was strange he got off the field so quickly, given that they were still checking it.
I will say, sitting in the opposite end of the stadium, I missed the literal holding up of the red card, and I was not quite clear what was going on because nobody was leaving the field, but it made sense after the fact. So all of that is to say, we are crowdsourcing the fine. No. We are we're paying our bills, and folks support us financially on Patreon to do so. And by doing that, they get to ask us a couple of questions. Okay, this is fun. And let me see if I can do this again to share a couple of the voicemails that we have here. Hopefully you guys can see this. So here is a question.
Hey fellas, Postman here. Second time, long time. So my question this month is, do you think this is the year that MLS clubs will all out and trying to win the Champions League? For the listening, I'm asking this in between the two legs of the Tigre.
I got to pause it right there. I feel so bad.
Hey, you get to ask another question.
No, this is not the year.
You get to ask another question because we didn't get to this one quickly enough.
Yeah, man. Whoo.
Way to go screening these, Kevin.
Yeah, well, sometimes they just happen. Okay.
Yeah. It turns out like going all out to win the Champions League might not have been the best move in the world.
No. Like,
or if you're gonna go
Miami
all out, you gotta win.
San Diego out.
It's gonna be super annoying when Nashville wins this. Like super annoying.
Nashville looks poised to like win the triple or something and just be the worst day ever.
Yeah. That might actually bother me more.
The problem with Nashville, and the reason it burns, is because it is like kind of like a direct refutation of like everything that we've done.
Yeah.
Not just this year, ever.
But like everything.
Yeah.
Everything. No, everything. Like firing a manager, going and get like trading their center back for a third offensive DP, cutting the line in the expansion process.
Nashville came in the league with absolutely no ambitions, no spending,
none.
They got the most boring manager imaginable, and they just said, "Let's just defend. Who cares?
Yeah,
we're just not going to finish last." And they did fine, right? Then they fired the guy, right? When they decided to spend and elevate. And it seems that they did that at the right time.
Yeah. And they hired what Greg Berhalter's meathead linebackers coach as their manager.
Yeah.
And he's great.
Got rid of the DP center back, out of the third DP attacker, and they are humming.
They signed a DP that was available to anyone on a free because of a paperwork fuck up by San Jose. Here's the other thing about Nashville.
They haven't spent as much on their 3 DPs as we've spent on Evander.
Yes.
Hani Mukhtar is a dumb name too.
Yeah. No.
Mukhtar is a dumb name. That's a dumb name.
That feels problematic. Especially in these times.
No, it sounds like a
Sam
plan
Surridge. That's a dumb name. We don't like Sam Surridge.
Is also a dumb name. That's a dumb name too.
We don't need alliteration.
What is this? A Marvel comic? Get out of here, Stanley.
Seriously, like the alter ego
Geese
for the worst
and
superhero.
Ducks and bees better hurry when I take you out of my surrage. No, we're done with that.
No. Also, the seating pattern in their stadium is annoying too. Like the disguise the empty seats and unsold tickets by having.
This is a Nashville hate podcast now.
Yeah, we hate Denmark and Nashville. Yeah.
I also hate that they built their stadium out in fairgrounds, which is what Columbus taught us not to do.
Where you often get a hanny.
Yeah.
Very true. And they built it just a little bit larger than ours. And I also am annoyed by that. So
yeah. It's the Denmark of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Exactly. Next question.
All right. Next voicemail.
Hi, this is Drew. And my question is for March. What do you think happens after we die? Get into the more philosophical side of the
post. It's none of my business.
Well, it depends on if you've led a good life or a bad life. If you've led a bad life, you get to watch Pat Noonan's offense for the rest of eternity.
Oh,
yeah, it depends if you've signed a DP center back or not.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the quantum consciousness theory, where like your consciousness just keeps existing, and at any time that you think that you would have died, you slip into another alternate like universe to where you would have survived in some way. I like that. That seems like fun. Just perpetual existence.
Yeah, I think I think it depends on whether you have met like Joel Osteen's specific definition of morality and theology. That seems like the one.
I saw a guy on TV once that said if I send $1,000 every month, then that is what does it. There was a 1-800 number you could call to.
It depends how many private jets you've helped televangelists buy.
That's exactly right.
I think if you're worrying about it or even thinking about it for any extended period of time, your attention is in the wrong spot. I think you should just redirect your efforts somewhere else. Okay, so lightning round, the written questions under the Patreon post. This one from Sean Pace. Early days, but the offense really concerns me. Well, that was 4 weeks ago. John.
Yeah.
If you had to predict now, does 2026 Cincinnati score more or less, more or few, goals than 2025 FCC?
Less. Yeah. I mean, fewer just because you don't
let's go.
You don't
Next
have
question.
Brenner.
Next question.
Hey. This man paid money to have his question answered.
He said more or fewer. We said fewer.
Yeah.
And I'm saying more, John. Why? I'm giving him more. Because I think they eventually solve it. And I think there's eventually a change that leads to a more productive offense. I don't think we do this for an entire year.
All right.
Well, what if we did?
Then I got some real tough questions come wintertime.
All right.
Nick Feeney asks, less a question, more a suggestion. I would love to see a Muppet version of Grayson anytime he's on camera.
Okay.
How do you know he's not a Muppet? You've never seen him?
If he did get run over by a bull, I think we have seen him. But I think we could commission a Grayson Muppet puppet. I think that'll be fun.
This feels like a positive use of AI.
Yeah.
Yes. MG asks, with the calendar turning to spring, I'm noticing all the inside things I had plans to do this winter and trying to decide which I'll still be able to get done and which I'll punt to next winter. So with that said, are we ever going to get away days from Salt Lake City? Damn. That was such a good setup.
I promise it'll be done next week.
Hang on, wait a second.
Wait, what?
I am also promising this.
Wait. Disavow.
It'll be fully edited and good. It'll be in the can and on YouTube by a week from the publication date of this podcast.
and you will cry because the music in it is so good.
Yes.
Just keep it.
Yeah, anything else? What? Fox McCloud going to make a cameo in this too? What the fuck?
Also played by I will be played by Glenn Powell.
Celebrity cameos abound. Yeah, every time Grayson's on camera, he's played by a different famous actor. That's the running bit.
Yeah, you wonder where all the Patreon money went to. We blew our budget on cameos.
Yep.
Cuccio asks something very similar to what we heard before. So I don't know if Cuccio is the one who asked the voicemail, but I'll just throw it out there. What's the most dangerous thing you have ever done? It feels remarkably similar to a voicemail we answered.
I've answered this question.
I feel like the running.
I feel like he stands on business on that answer right there.
Yeah.
Getting gored by a bull.
Most dangerous thing. Yeah, like that's gotta be. I don't know. I used to work at a summer camp, and we would
guaranteed gonna die.
I took a middle seat.
You drive on the highway.
I took a middle seat red eye back from Vegas once on a Frontier plane. That feels kind of dangerous.
A little dicey.
Yeah.
I don't know what the most dangerous. Yeah, I used to like work trail clearing and stuff with chainsaws and riding and driving ancient tractors deep into the woods. That was probably more dangerous than I was aware of even at the time.
I told my wife tonight I had to leave her tonight with our friends, so I had to record a podcast.
It's pretty
dangerous.
Yeah. It's not dangerous till you get back.
Yeah.
That's true. It's sort of a delayed burn. Redbeard asks, I feel like a student going back to school in August, having accomplished seemingly none of the grand plans I had at the start of summer break. Where did the off season go? Oh,
it's gone.
Damn, I don't know.
It's gone. It's tough.
The real off season was the friends we made along the way.
Yep.
Off season is a state of mind, really. Like you can always be in off season mode if you just like put your mind to it hard enough, I think.
All the signings were people coming in on time, which maybe wasn't the best. I don't know. Maybe somebody should have forced a move. I don't know.
Just to straighten things up a little bit.
Yeah. We'll see.
What a great idea. Next year, we should be pushing guys to hold out.
It turns out gel just makes them more comfortable.
Yeah, it's time for Miles needs to force a move to Europe. It's time.
Miles, you are being held back.
Matt Miazga needs to go back to Europe. It's time.
Or just management goes to Roman Celentano and be like, look, you have to stay here the full year, okay? You made a commitment to this club. Yeah, I know. I want to be here. No, we're not going to take any more of your crap with this constant wanting to go to Europe. It's like, yeah, I didn't say that. No, at the very least, you need to stay here because these fans pay your salary, young man. What?
It's so good. Okay, Red Lee asks, oh no. If FC Cincinnati wins CONCACAF Champions League, how should they start preparing for the next Club World Cup?
They shouldn't.
By winning MLS Cup.
I mean, at this rate, buying a ticket.
Yeah, actually. Maybe like
put some money in a high interest savings account.
Yes.
Push for a move to Europe. It's actually how these guys can all get in the Club World Cup.
Yep.
Index funds.
Charlie.
Get on Luca Orishano's friends and family list.
Oh, there you go. Charlie Pochet. How would you guys pronounce this? Pochet? Pochet?
Pochet. Pochet.
Ooh, Pochet's nice. Listening to the mental health podcast that the postcast is currently. Wait, are we just always that, or
I interpret that to be always that.
Yeah, okay. That we have poor mental health among the three of us.
We are a poor mental health podcast. I see.
Yes,
we had a professional on it.
We are, but right now it's like we are the voices in your head telling you,
literally, even.
maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. We're not saying yes. We're not saying no.
But if you did,
maybe. I never want to mention a different podcast in the Discord, but before continuing to love on Zootopia, give this a listen. And it's from Pushkin FM, a podcast, Revisionist History, Zootopia Exposed Part 1. I'll have to see what Malcolm Gladwell says.
I want to point out that I was more of a Zootopia skeptic. So whatever's going on here.
I haven't seen the movie, so I don't even know what's exposed right here.
The idea of Zootopia exposed is really funny. Like it turns out it's actually
the dark underbelly.
Winnie the Pooh exposed. Yeah, he's only wearing a shirt.
Yeah, come on, man.
He's been Donald Ducking it this entire time. All right, man.
No, is it his middle name?
Is it Zootopia exposed that like here is the seedy underside of Zootopia? They don't want to tell you.
Are we canceling the author? Are we canceling the author of Zootopia?
So a quick show description says screenwriter Gary Goldman claimed the creators of the Disney franchise stole his story.
Oh, is this like one of those things where the guy?
Oh, I think I have heard of this. I
would say that guy that was like claiming that like Ed Sheeran stole his guitar riff for a song that nobody listened to 30 years ago.
I hope that they didn't steal this guy's script.
Yeah.
I can't make myself really care very much about this.
Yeah, it's everybody steals shit. Like, come on, man. Yeah. At a certain point, if you have a script, hold on. If you've got a script idea and you don't manage to get it published, at some point that's a you problem. And if somebody else picks up the ball and runs with it, I'm not going to get too fired up about this.
Well, if somebody like reads your script and puts their name on it, that's a problem.
Right. Well, don't send people your scripts. Go get it made.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I will listen, but I don't think that necessarily changes the quality of the movie. I think you can criticize how it's made.
It just changes who you give credit for the movie for. Like, it's still a good movie. It just changes like who's responsible.
I will tell you. Here's what I know about Zootopia. Okay. When I after I did the Inca Trail, I went and watched Star Wars The Force Awakens in Lima, Peru. It came out while I was hiking. I was like, that's fine if it's coming out while I'm hiking. I'm not going to get any spoilers. I'm not going to have internet. It's all going to be fine. Turns out half the people I was hiking with all live in LA and work in the film industry, and they had already seen the movie.
That's incredible.
They had all like read the script like months and months before too.
Sure.
But however, it was fine. So I went and I saw the movie in a cinema in Lima, Peru, and a trailer for Zootopia came on. I'd never heard of this movie, didn't know this movie was coming. And the entire trailer was like a scene where like they're at the DMV and it's like a sloth. Right.
Yes. This is the only scene from the movie I've seen. Yes.
And the sloth is like really, really slow. People in my theater lost their freaking minds. Like it was people were rolling in the aisles. It was wild.
Yeah.
They were like, the sloth is slow. Sí, es despacio.
I do love though about that the joke is very specific to the DMV employee being awful at their job and really slow. And I love that transcends culture, that you can be in Peru and it's very funny that, oh yeah, the government workers are slow everywhere. That's incredible.
Kristen Bell has, I don't know if she has a credit on it, but she is also one of the sloths in that scene because apparently she loves sloths. So there you go.
I did know that she loves sloths. My hairdresser is a big fan of her podcast.
Does anyone not love sloths? Those sloths are badass.
Sure, yeah.
Sloths are great.
Yeah, they're awesome.
She like cried at the sight of one.
I've seen that
on
picture.
Ellen's show or something.
She held a
Yeah,
sloth and
something like
cried. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
All right,
Sloths
let's
are
move on.
cool. Yeah, sloths rule.
So there you go. We did it. Those are the March questions. Well done, everybody. So that means we are off to part 2. Oh, we're breaking down some film. Okay, we're not letting this international break hold us back. We're not going overseas, even though I think both of you went on trips recently. We're not traveling anywhere. We're going in the film room, and that's coming up in the next one.
Hi, I'm doing this ad because my dad said it was cheaper than paying intern Luke. If you like FC Cincinnati and you're still listening to this stupid podcast, you might also like the stuff that is for sale on the Post website. There are some designs on there that are pretty neat and some that needed a little more work. There is even a reversible bucket hat that says Noonan out on one side and Noonan in on the other side, which I've been told to say is very funny. If you even buy something, Chief might even release away days. Go to thepostcincy.com and click merch. Or don't. That's okay too. Okay, thanks, bye.
All right, we are back. And my God, it's been a while since we've had the opportunity to review a film and to have some fun with this. So, Chief, why don't you set the stage? What did we watch? Because you weren't here when we decided to watch this.
No, how do I even describe this? This is like one of the movies that I watched when I was a kid. And one of those ones where it's like you watch a movie when you're younger, and does this movie hold up as an adult? And the answer is absolutely no. But that doesn't mean it's not still fun revisiting this. This is I'll say infamous cult classic, The Black Hole. It was Disney's answer to Star Wars and their attempt to make a live action movie back in the late 70s that sort of captured in on this craze of, hey, you can make a blockbuster film with special effects, robots that are ready-made to sell action figures of, and launch yourself into this type and genre of sci-fi blockbuster filmmaking. So they commissioned this movie. They actually cast more than a few decent actors in this movie.
Yeah.
And it was an abominable train wreck of a film. And I will open it up with why this movie still holds some like mental headspace for me, is that like I genuinely hate remake culture and we're going to redo this thing. And I think it is beyond overdone and beyond stale in modern pop culture.
Yeah.
And the one sort of like holdback I have to that is there are some movies out there that I think that, no, the remake is really made for this, where you get a movie and at its core, there's an interesting idea or sort of an interesting concept, and it just went horribly awry. And that's sort of a movie that this is the movie I always point to with that, is that at the very basic core, there's an interesting sort of story here.
There is not.
There is.
There is not,
like,
even, not
really,
even
really
close to one.
Yeah.
Not even close to one. You called this a train wreck? This is the experience of the people who were at the Denver airport last week trying to get on the train to the terminal when the power went out, where you're just on the train or like trying to get on the train for 6 hours, and that's the only thing that's happening.
It's better than Rebel Moon. You're not going to convince me otherwise.
It is not.
It is absolutely better
There's
than Rebel Moon.
There's nothing that happens in this movie. It is the most boring, interminable, like mind-numbing movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
I don't believe you when you say that.
It's true. Like I've certainly seen like worse made movies. I don't think I've ever seen a movie as boring.
So, Chief, let me ask you this: could you in a couple of sentences describe the plot of the movie? Because I watched it
Yeah, I'll describe the plot of the
couple
movie.
of hours ago.
People sit around for a while, and they sit around for some more in a different location for a bit, and then it kind of just ends with them sitting through something else with some lights.
I'm not clear what the plot of the movie is. And to be clear, I liked my time with this film, but I'm not clear what the plot is.
So the first like 2 minutes of the movie, the screen is just black, and they're playing like most generic music of all time. I fast forwarded because I was like, "Oh, is my screen broken? What's going on here?"
I stopped and started the movie twice because I thought my TV wasn't working.
Yeah, fun fact. This is one of the last, if not the last, it is one of the last films made that includes an overture at the beginning where it's just orchestral music that starts the film off, a thing that used to happen back way back in the day.
You could tell they loved their score because they played this music pretty loudly.
It's
throughout the film. And it sucks. It's fine, but it's generic.
The composer.
I know it's Jerry Goldsmith.
No, it's John Barry.
Oh, it's John Barry.
The guy that John Barry, who famous for the James Bond soundtrack as well, or the James Bond theme. But yeah, the composer is a legend of the game. They have an Academy Award winning actor, Maximilian Schell, who won a Best Actor for Judgment at Nuremberg, is in this movie.
Robert Forster. Robert
Forster is a classic.
Robert Forster, who I think was nominated for Jackie Brown. Ernest Borgnine, I think, won for Marnie. No.
Yeah. Multiple Academy Award winners in this movie.
Anthony
Academy
Perkins.
Award nominees.
There was a real. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but there was a real miss in this movie because there's a scene later on where like Anthony Perkins turns a chair around to reveal that there's like a person in the chair or whatever. They should have used the same skeleton setup they used for the mother in Psycho.
Oh, that would have been good.
Yeah.
Like they're still decaying.
With mother.
Oh, just actually his mother.
Yes, actually the exact same stuff. Like he just like, it was my mother.
They should have just made Psycho, actually.
And honestly, like this movie would have had at least a similar type of opportunity because they spend like so much where they go up to this. Time out. Yeah, let's back up. Let's back up.
Yeah, back up. Overview the plot of this movie. It is a science fiction film. It is involving the crew of a 7-person crew of a ship,
like a lunar module, basically.
Yeah, like an exploration vessel, and they come across basically a ghost ship drifting in space. And the ghost ship
it's famously not drifting. It's specifically not drifting.
It's sitting at the edge of
doing
a
a
black
Mexican
hole.
standoff somehow.
With a black hole.
It's doing what is described as a Mexican standoff.
Yeah.
Is he going to shoot the black hole?
That's what I thought too. I was like,
who doesn't love a good Mexican standoff?
Are they threatening the black hole? Why would they in the future
like a one-way
call this a Mexican standoff when it's not a Mexican standoff either? It's like a detente, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what you would call it.
Yeah,
it's not a Mexican standoff.
Like
they don't have a gun pointed at the black hole.
The ghost ship is there, like eerily not moving as the smaller vessel, the one that we're following the characters with, is like getting sucked in by the black hole. So it's very weird that they're struggling to navigate.
I want to point out that as Kevin says, getting sucked in by the black hole, I think it's a little misleading. It sounds like something exciting is happening. Nothing exciting is happening. They are floating through space slowly. The movie opens with them just like spouting the most indecipherable, like just space. They're just saying like velocity and mass. Like they're just saying jargon. That's like it's like in quote unquote like in media res, but in media res is like we're just saying numbers devoid of any like context or meaning or anything for a while.
But it sounds smart though.
And then the people like kind of float around the ship, right? Because it's like, oh, well, there's no gravity. So like they're trying to do some, but then they like get around these consoles and they just kind of like gyrate their shoulders like they're doing Pilates, you know, around the console to like remind us that like, well, we're in 0G. But they kind of like don't always do it. Like they kind of forget that they're supposed to be moving their shoulders around.
Right.
And
the budget was not unlimited. Let's be real. Let's be clear here.
Yeah. Just have it like most shit. Just be like, oh yeah, the ship has gravity. Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's distracting. It's distracting for Anthony Perkins to be like saying some like random, you know, like reverse the polarity gobbledygook, and he's just like moving his shoulders back and forth.
Now they do eventually give up on this when they
do.
They land on the ship.
So then after, I don't know, forever, an hour of the movie, maybe they get to like a black hole and the ship kind of like, and suddenly now there is like an up and down.
Yeah.
Like the way they film it, like there suddenly is like an up and down. Yeah. No, when the ship is like going up and down, it's like, oh no, we do look, now there is like an up and down sideways as we see them like going toward the black hole, doing, I don't know, something to avoid.
When it's spinning.
It's spinning. Yeah.
Well, it's creating gravity. You spin. Like everyone's seen that thing at the...
And then they end up back at the ghost ship somehow. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's very boring. It takes 40 minutes.
Sure, but then you get to Maximilian Schell on screen, and like he's the only person in this movie that knows what kind of movie is being made, and it's incredible.
The movie's called The Black Hole, so you might think like, oh man, it's about people who get like sucked into a black hole and we like see what's in there. No. It's not about that.
You're just hanging out outside the black hole.
You're just hanging out outside the black hole. You don't see the black hole for a good hour of the movie after you first see it.
It's a looming threat. It's Chekhov's gun.
It never goes off though.
Does it end? Doesn't it?
It's like Chekhov famously said, like you show a gun, you call the play The Gun, and the gun just sits there and factors into the plot none at all.
They go into the black hole at the end of the movie. That's like
they don't do anything with it.
I thought it was funny that when they first see the black hole,
you have a whole play. You have the Glass Menagerie, and the entirety of the Glass Menagerie happens at the beginning of the Glass Menagerie. You like show a gun on the wall, okay, and then you have the entirety of the Glass Menagerie. And at the end of the Glass Menagerie, Tom shoots the gentleman caller, shoots his sister, shoots his mother, and then shoots himself. And then you title the play "The Gun."
It's a great ending. Wraps the entire story up in a nice package right here. I love that.
I like it. No, it was foreshadowed when the scientist says, "Oh man, when you see a black hole like that, you just imagine that there's fire in there and a little red man in a suit with a pitchfork or something like that."
Yeah, you do imagine that. Yeah.
It's a gateway to hell, baby. Many people noting that. I can't believe that you found nothing redeeming about this movie. Like Roddy McDowell is the voice of an action figure robot.
Yeah. I called him Minion 3PO.
Did you guys catch who the voice of the second robot was?
Slim Pickens, man.
Slim Pickens. Very funny.
Yeah. No, this movie has that's why I say that this movie is like a perfect candidate for a remake, because all the ingredients were there for this not to suck. And it sucked.
No, there's no ingredients.
It was not good.
Early in the movie, the woman, I think her name is Kate McRae, I want to say.
Yeah, she's like an awful. She's like the one person on the cast that has like no acting experience whatsoever. Like she was a model or something like that.
Okay, so at the beginning of the movie, as we mentioned, they're flying their ship. They fly past this ghost ship. They're getting sucked into the black hole. They send Minion 3PO outside, and then she's communicating with him.
Oh yeah,
with like ESP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's never used again.
And it is used again, but only with the robot. And it's like, what? She just has robot ESP? Because several times else in the movie, she's like whispering something loudly in front of the bad guy to like make a plan. And I'm like, why don't you just ESP this to your buddy?
Well, it's only robot ESP. It only works with robots. That's like,
why they could
That
have
doesn't
put
make any
like
but
a device on
any
her
sense.
head.
Also, the
You could've
robots
put a
can't
device
ESP
as, like,
each
this
other.
is my-
The robots speak out loud to each other. But there's two minion 3POs. One is voiced by Roddy McDowall. Another one, his name is Vincent. And the other one is introduced later. His name is Bob, and he's voiced by Slim Pickens.
yeah. And he's beat. Like the Bob one is
he's
like
busted.
He's been
he's
abused.
busted. Yeah, he's had a tough life. Bob has not been doing well for himself. There's also so hold on. The thing that other thing that I remember
and also
about this movie,
the defining characteristic of Vincent is he speaks like exclusively in like hang in there cat posters.
It's all quotes.
It's all quote of the
Everything's
day.
quotes.
yeah, no, it's like if Family Guy was like tried to be smarter than it really was, where it's all just pithy quotes.
Yeah.
What was your take on? Well, hold on. What was your take on the everybody that watched this as a kid was all terrified of Maximilian, like the evil robot? Like, what was your take on Maximilian?
Oh, I have a take on Maximilian. So let's so they end up going into the ghost ship, okay? And there's a bad guy who we find out has killed his crew and turned them into like part human cyborgs to help run the ghost ship that is kept in like an orbit or something around the black hole because he wants to go in, right? And he's got this like grand scheme that like it's going to be like the great human achievement to like go into the black hole and see what's in there and like everything.
This is a good base idea for a movie right here. Like this is actually creepy.
Everything else is like subservient to that goal. And the actor, the bad guy is named like Hans Reinhardt.
Yeah, Captain Hans Reinhardt.
But he's played by a guy named Maximilian Schnell. Okay. And there's an evil robot in there that he like sometimes seems to be in charge of, but other times isn't in charge of.
Yeah.
Named that's never explained. That's named Maximilian. And then there's a line in the movie where he says like he says to the woman Kate, "Protect me from Maximilian."
Yeah.
And
but this robot is a psycho.
It doesn't make any sense because Maximilian doesn't go after Hans at any point or whatever. And I took that as the actor, Maximilian Schnell, breaking the fourth wall and saying like, "Protect me from my career choices." And it's not the only time I think an actor broke the fourth wall. There's a moment early in the movie where we've kind of figured out that like Vincent, the minion 3PO, just speaks in like calendar of the day, like quotes.
Yeah.
And there's the Luke Skywalker analog or whatever, like the young blonde guy. Right.
Yeah.
The one who they were like, this is the one for the
dashing hero
young,
right here. Yeah.
This is the one for the young ladies. He says, when I volunteered for this mission, I never thought I'd end up playing straight man to a tin can. And I also think that was the actor breaking the fourth wall. I think he was complaining about his career. Because
or that like that during the reshoots they were like, yeah, no, the robot plays better than you do, so the robot's going to get more screen time than you. Vincent's clearly the star of this show. You're just here to like give him a foil. Yeah, and so like there's a crew of this little like lunar module thing, right? It's like fake Luke Skywalker, it's Robert Forster, it's Kate, it's Ernest Borgnine, and it's Anthony Perkins. Ernest Borgnine, it is dropped at some point, is like some type of journalist on strike. He's there covering the mission, I think, is what's going on. He's not on strike.
But Hans is like, oh yeah, I bet you guys are still on strike or whatever. And
yeah, I think that was just more like a comment on union politics from a madman.
Ernest Borgnine is like really concerned about government spending.
Yeah,
the only thing he ever talks about is he's concerned about he's concerned about like government spending. And
just walking around a spaceship going, boy, this costs the taxpayer quite a lot.
And yes, and Robert Forster is like the captain of this little thing.
It's good to know the Economist is still going in the future.
Fake Luke Skywalker is like the pilot, I think. Kate McRae is the woman, and
he plays the woman.
Anthony Perkins is like the science guy, and then and it turns out that like Kate's dad,
her father was on that. Yeah, her father was on that ship. Yeah,
and I kept waiting for like a reveal of like I was like, oh, the dad is going to be Maximilian, or something, right? No. The villain says at the first time they see him, he's like, oh, your father didn't make it, and that turned out to be true. That was just true.
Yeah,
her dad was dead before they showed up.
There was no, there's no contrived plot device here to try and bring it all full circle.
All this stuff she said about like, oh, we're going up to it. Like, oh, my dad was on that. My dad. No, it's all nothing.
No, but then if you listen later in the movie, it's that he was killed because he led the crew in a mutiny against Reinhardt when he was like, no, he refused the orders to return home, and he was killed for leading the mutiny.
So okay. I watched this movie, Chief. I watched this movie with my kids.
Yeah, they were probably bored to tears. They don't make them like they used to on this.
My son absolutely
it was too boring to be a kids movie, too dumb to be an adults movie. Like it was right in the sweet spot.
But Grayson, to your point, they latched onto the father plot line real quick. And so the second we saw Dr. Hans, they both went, oh, her dad.
No, kids.
Oh no, guys, it's not that interesting.
I also want to point out that I'm pretty sure that Hans was having intimate relationships with the robots.
No doubt.
Because at one point because he says like, these are my companions. And then right after saying that, he says, I've always been a romantic.
That's problematic.
Yeah.
Companion's a weird word.
Yeah, they're still people-ish. Grayson, I just don't think like you're not thinking about this the right way. Like they're the bones.
It's a bad movie.
There's a good movie here, in like a madman that takes control of a ship and like turns all of his crew members into like robots. Like that's a mutiny. Sure. Like like there's good ideas here. It's just very, very poorly executed.
They did forget to put most of them on to the movie, I think.
Well, they just get buried under stupid things. Also, Anthony Perkins, one of the best deaths of any movie I've ever seen in my life. He gets gored by a robot blender, basically.
So Maximilian is like the big, like scary force of the movie. His big weapon is like literally a blender motor.
Yeah,
like his arms,
two of them, each hand.
His arms turn into blender motors, and they just like whirl around. And then Hans is like, Maximilian, go away! Don't do that.
No blending. You're not allowed to blend people.
But he blends Anthony Perkins like real good.
Yeah. Good. And it's for a movie that like you're ostensibly for kids, like that's pretty next level. I enjoyed that.
Well, you don't see any of it.
No, but that makes it even worse somehow.
And there's two deaths of the crew in the movie. Anthony Perkins gets blended, and then Ernest Borgnine tries to like
nopes out of the film. Like he's just like, I'm done here. I'm leaving the film.
And they're like, we're done here. And then it just the ship just kind of crashes into the ghost ship. There is the way that Bob, the other Minion 3PO, gets involved is he was like the Minion 3PO of that ship until Hans built like his evil robots, and then he kind of got
put on like trash duty,
dinged or whatever. Like there was like a whole thing about how he like beat the security robot in a target practice, and the security robot like did things that were unspeakable, and I'm like, what could he possibly have done? Like, was he like,
set him up on a date? He set him up on the date with Hans Reinhardt. Apparently,
he took him down to like the Hans Reinhardt Island, and it was just weird. Like, what could you? It was like unspeakable things to me or whatever. And then Vincent, the Roddy McDowell Minion 3PO, gets into like a shooting contest with the head guard or whatever.
Head guard robot. Yeah. Not Maximilian, the other head
guard robot that takes,
because there's two categories. There's multiple categories of robots. Star. So there's like sentry robots that are like actual robots. And then there are the crew robots that are like these faceless, like they look like people, but they have like these reflective masks on. The sentry robots are robots. The other robots are people robots.
Yep.
Or zombie people type things.
And we never really get to the bottom of like what Maximilian is or what any of this is. It's not important.
No.
None of it matters. Nothing matters, in fact. So
wait, before we move on from there, Maximilian, the one thing that was holding me back from him being scary, other than like his weapon being weird, he seemed extremely getawayable. Like you could just like sidestep him or just take a couple of steps back. He's not a quick mover. Okay.
No, he's like floating though, so it feels like he could get from point A to point B pretty quickly. Like there's no feet involved.
It was strange that like the Minion 3POs who are like also R2s, who also are like mechanic droids or whatever, are also like super lethal shooters.
Yeah,
and
like
what?
Double lasers, man.
And like more lethal than the robots who were like built to kill by the bad guy. And like that raises serious questions about what kind of society all these people are living in. Like maybe Hans is like the good guy.
They do explain this in a scene where the Vincent, the Roddy McDowell robot, he needs his lasers rearmed by someone. Like he's not allowed to be armed like all the time. So they turn the guns on for him, and then he just becomes a death machine. Then at that point,
I thought it was funny when they first get off the ship. They board the ghost ship. They shoot the one gun that they brought out of his hand, and then they shoot Vincent. And I thought, oh damn, that's the end of Vincent. No, Vincent was fine. They just let him keep going. Why did they shoot him?
Vincent. It turns out like Vincent is like indestructible.
Yeah, like he's invincible.
They should just make the whole ship out of Vincent.
Would have been a lot more successful with just like a crew of 6 Vincents as opposed to
but also
incompetent people involved otherwise.
Scaredy cat. He's very easily spooked. So
to kind of catch people up on the plot, they got into the ghost ship.
They're all set.
It turns out this Hans guy was holding it steady because he wants to go into the black hole. He's turned his crew into robots. He's also built other robots who are like bad dudes or whatever. And then he like wants this ship, like our main characters, to like watch him go into the black hole.
Yeah, right? Like Cuck Chair from the outside of the black hole. Like he goes in,
for some
they have
reason,
to watch.
Our guys are like, we don't want to watch you go into the black hole. We need to get out. And that's like the whole fight. And so everyone starts killing each other because they don't want to watch him go into the black hole. They're not like saving anybody. They're just trying to leave.
No.
Okay. Right. And then the problem is that like they're trying to leave, but then the other people involved like are like they're asking too many questions. Like if they just would have left, everything would have been fine. But then we got to figure out what's up with, where did my dad go or where are all these people? Then we talk to the other C-3PO busted up robot Bob, and he tells him, oh no, Reinhardt murdered the mutineers and turned everybody else into robots. And then all of a sudden everyone's now like, well, we can't just let this ship go into the black hole. These people on here that are robots, like they've got to be saved. We can't just kill them. And then as soon as Reinhardt realizes they're wise to him, that's when the problems start. And then Ernest Borgnine, the journalist, he's like, I'm out of here. This movie sucks. I'm already sleepwalking through this role anyway. He goes back to their ship, tries to take off, and then they shoot it down. So now they're truly trapped on this ship with a madman that wants to go inside a black hole. They just would have not asked questions. If they just would have been like, yeah, no, that sounds like a great idea for you. We're going to go ahead and get on up out of here from this creepy, like hellhole, Gothic cathedral looking ship that seems to serve like no purpose. Like the design of this ship, like a madman would have designed a space vessel to look like this. It seems like it has nothing. There's two spots on this ship they go to where it's like, oh yeah, no, that seems like what a spaceship would look like. The rest of it just exists to be atmospheric and look like broody and dark.
And then for some reason, Maximilian just kills Hans.
Yeah,
kills Anthony Perkins, kills Hans, and
TV falls on Hans.
Yeah. And then they're all trying to get out. They're like, oh, we have this like escape pod or probe vessel or whatever that they think they can get home. They end up having to like go into, or Vincent, the Minion 3PO, kills Maximilian
but not before they have to run through the ship, as it's like there's meteorites that are hitting the ship. And it should be explosively decompressing, but somehow that doesn't happen either. And there's a part like where they go drifting in space without a spacesuit, and that doesn't seem to have any visible effect on anyone.
So then they get into the pod.
Hang on, real quick. Meteors. I loved that. Like,
yeah, that was cool.
The visual effects and everything was actually really impressive, and that was
the visual effects being good makes it worse for me.
I mean,
they were
not
trying.
Like, it's like there's competent people involved with this, and it sucks.
Nominated for 2 Academy Awards.
Yeah, for visual effects and cinematography. I don't know what they were thinking for cinematography. I get visual effects in like 79.
Visual effects make sense.
The cinematography was pretty good in this movie. Like it was atmospheric at the very least. Like it was shot well, I thought.
I don't know. There were like edits where it's like, wait, are they in a different room now? I don't understand. And then there's edits where it's like, oh, somebody else is talking, but it like kind of looks like this person is talking without moving their mouth. And it's like,
yeah, there was definitely some ADR in this to try and salvage this film. Like I guarantee that the first cut of this was unwatchable. Yeah. It's got that vibe to it.
And so they get in the probe, they go into the black hole, an angel comes and guides them through the black hole.
But not before
flying into like a sun or something,
or like an, I don't know. Like I thought it was like an idea of like the entire end of this movie is awful, and it's the worst combination. By the way,
it's the only things that happen. It's the only thing that happens in the entire movie.
Well, no, it's like it's very much that this was still from an era where like 2001 was, I guess, fresh in the public consciousness a little bit. So it tries to have like
is very 2001 to me.
Yeah, it like Timu Kubrick at the end of this, where they go into the black hole, and it pays off the awful line that was very clearly shoehorned at the start of the movie that Kevin was talking about this idea of the black hole being like a gateway to wherever, or like the crucible where people are judged. And there's scenes of Maximilian and Reinhardt merged into one and being tormented in hell.
Maximilian and Reinhardt do end up like merged into like one like spider Maximilian, which I also think it was probably improvised by the actor. Like that's the actor breaking the fourth wall. Like, this is my life now.
Well, just the
it's
idea
crazy
that
the robot's named Maximilian and the actor's named Maximilian, and the entire
Maximilian.
Yes.
Are we in for real analysis of this film? Because my real analysis for this film has always been that it was an intentional naming with the idea of that Reinhardt is the ego and Maximilian is the id of the same character, or is supposed to represent the id of the same character. And naming him Maximilian is a cheeky reference to the idea that these are both actually the same person. Whereas like Maximilian is pure id, Reinhardt is pure ego. And when they merge at the end, it represents the true him coming together. And oh yeah, like that sends someone to hell being those two halves of that same person.
I think that's the only way to like, well, not the only way, but like them being the same person is the only way to like read like the save me from Maximilian,
save me from myself,
and then the fusion of the two at the end of the movie. It's just really
so weird.
It's just so stupid.
And
it's
then
so
he's
dumb.
Yeah, like so
time.
there's a lot of hell imagery, and then like Grayson was saying, the good guys, they travel on through, led by an angel, like through heaven to, I don't know, back into space in a new world. As a kid, I was always like, this was the part where it's like, on Mystery Science Theater, you're wondering how they eat and breathe and other science facts. You should think to yourself, it's just a show. I should really just relax. Because I was thinking like they're on this little ship. They've got no food. They've got no water. And they're just like sort of marooned in space on this. They're going to die.
Yeah.
Like
you can't call this movie The Black Hole.
They went into a black hole.
Eventually.
Yeah. This is the Surf Dracula tweet where like, Dracula only starts surfing in the last 5 minutes of the episode.
Yeah, I that's true. It's correct.
Yeah.
Like the movie, like there's a 80s movie that's like very low budget and very hokey called From Beyond. It's I think it's quite entertaining. But I'll tell you that like a large portion of the movie involves monsters from beyond.
Oh, okay.
So it's like it's very much Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah, like they're
what you're getting into.
If you call the movie Snakes on a Plane, that better be Snakes on a Plane. But I got to see them like soon, quickly.
You can't drag us out.
Imagine like Jurassic Park is like mostly about like them like digging for fossils in Montana, and then the last like 5 minutes of the movie, the guy shows up and he's like, "You know what you guys might like? A Jurassic Park."
It's the entire movie is just like the first night where they have dinner and they go to the Mr. DNA thing, and then they watch another movie about how they did that. And then they go to the park and they see eggs, but there's no dinosaurs still.
And then it turns out the guy who runs the park is actually trying to kill them for some reason.
Yes.
And then the plot of the movie is like him trying to kill them.
I would watch this movie if Richard Hammond was turned into a psychopath midway through their tour on like the Mr. DNA movie.
And we still haven't seen any dinosaurs.
Yeah,
no dinosaurs.
It's actually just the most dangerous game, but there's a dinosaur hook at the very end.
No dinosaurs, guys.
Save a lot on special effects. That's for damn sure.
Oh, that's true. Do the Cloverfield thing.
Here's my pitch to you, and this is very simple.
Okay.
Is that if you made a movie right now where you're like, okay, I want to make a science fiction movie. It is about a group of people, space travelers, who encounter a ship run by a madman who has murdered all of his crew, turned them into robots, and it's entirely up to these people here to try and take the ship over and save the crew on this ship. That's a decent elevator pitch for a sci-fi movie.
No, it's a 43-minute episode of Star Trek, the original series.
Or whatever the new Disney Plus Star Wars show is.
There is a good movie in this movie somewhere. It's just
it is not called The Black Hole. it is called like Manic Robots or something.
Manic Robots could be
Manic
fun.
Robots would be like, if they called it Manic Robots, it'd be nothing but black holes, and you wouldn't see the robots until they came out at the very end.
That's it. Manic Robots from the Black Hole. There we go. Now we get both.
Music
Manic
is good.
Robots on your way to seeing a black hole for a second.
Music is good. Maximilian Schell It's good. It's good, dude. The soundtrack in this movie is good. No,
so I watched
John Barry. Very good music. Maximilian Schell. Every bit of scenery that there is in this film, he's like, I'm taking it all. I'm the only person that understands I am making a really bad movie, and I'm going to get every dollar worth of my time on this screen. And for those two reasons alone, I think this is a movie people should watch.
I watched. I had the urge to watch Star Trek the motion picture.
Okay, so like that was
after watching
same movie. They're the same movie.
They're not the same movie.
They are. They're overly long, overly ponderous.
Star Trek the motion picture also very boring.
Yes.
Instead of opening with like just reams and reams of people saying like numbers and like volume and message, it opens with people being like, "Whoa, they just like destroyed that Klingon ship that's heading to Earth. What's going on?" Right? Yeah, like it's like they like make like a thing happen and then make us concerned about like what's going to happen next, right?
And then after they make us concerned about the thing, they show the 3 Klingon ships getting vaporized by V'ger, and then after this thing where it's like it's heading right for Earth, there's a problem. Captain Kirk hops in like one of these little pods, and there's a 15-minute sequence of him just flying around the Enterprise.
Yes, because they don't know, but there's peril. Because they don't know what's coming and we've seen it, right? So we can do some scene setting here. And by the way, in Star Trek the Motion Picture, they do scene setting by like Kirk is like established as like dying to get back in command of a starship, right? And then he uses an opportunity to bump the captain down. So that captain who got bumped down is like mad and whatever. And then a woman comes up who like has a history with the captain that got bumped down. Like there's like, it's not a good movie. It was very boring.
It's terrible.
But they like gesture at like tension and characterization and drama and like stakes and like making us like interested in like what might happen. They take too long and it's very boring. But the black hole is like, the black hole does none of that. The black hole sucks. Every second of that movie, I was like, when is this movie over?
The only reason Star Trek the Motion Picture works is because there's a fucking 3-year TV series that gave characterization to all these things. They did none of that in the movie.
Decker wasn't in the TV series. Aaliyah wasn't in the TV series.
Wasn't either.
All the people, the peril at the beginning wasn't in the TV series. Like, all of this stuff, the movie actually establishes in an order that makes you like understand that like there is something that we need to be paying attention to over the course of the movie. The black hole doesn't do that.
I do have to point something out to both of you. You both have referenced how long this movie is. The movie has an official runtime of 98 minutes.
It's
not a long movie.
It feels long.
It
does feel like a 2.5 hour long film.
Star Trek the Motion Picture also had an overture when it first premiered in cinemas.
It also has. I did notice it has an overture. Music's better.
Yeah, it's Sherry Goldsmith.
With the overture in Star Trek, though, does it have visuals to go with the overture? Or is it just
the visuals
black?
This movie?
It's black for 2 minutes as well. I was like, I didn't know they used to do that.
I had no idea.
They used to have intermissions too back in the day as well.
I also like fast forwarded of Star Trek the Motion Picture. I was like, what's going on? Is my TV just broke? Like,
I thought it was funny with the black hole to start with a black screen. Like, damn, we're really gonna like sit with the black.
We're getting into this right here.
No, they just played music for 2 minutes.
Why not? The kids. Like I said, my youngest bailed halfway through. My oldest, 8 years old, watched it all the way to the end. And I turned to her, I said, "Did you like that?" She said, "Yeah, that was weird." So there you go.
This is how the youth finally understand that not everything has to be good to be entertaining.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right, so let's do reviews for the graphic on social media. Grayson, out of 5 stars, what are we giving this?
1.
Not even 1.5 for the humor involved.
1.
1. Kevin.
I would give it 2 stars.
Yeah. 3. 3 feels right here in this space. No,
That's
2.5.
crazy.
2.5.
Right.
I'm being realistic here.
2
I have
stars.
nostalgia for it though. I grew up wearing this VHS tape out. We taped it off the Disney Channel when I was like 6. You can't just keep watching Star Wars on repeat over and over again.
Yeah, that was actually probably the biggest review of this movie was both the kids sat down. Oh, is this Star Wars? No, it's not. It was,
No. You should have told them yes. And like, no, this is Star Wars episode, like, this is one of the prequels. Just to see how long you can keep the bit going.
They did refer to Vincent as not R2D2 multiple times.
That's a win for Disney right there, I think.
They finally got it. But yeah, Chief, I agree with you. I think of like,
Grayson just dropped out of the show after the review was over. That's incredible.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, I was gonna say, I agree with you, Chief, that this is a movie that could use a remake. Like this would be the opportunity to remake something, to get a fresh coat of paint on something that didn't quite hit the first time.
Yeah, I will go to my grave believing that there was a decent movie in here that they absolutely failed to make. Every decision they made this movie worse. And if you just go back and make at every decision point during the process of this film, if you were just like, what if we did the opposite? I think you end up with a movie that would be a blockbuster.
Yeah, I think the first thing you got to do is you got to make it their mission to find the ship. Like, I think like the stumbling across it, I get what they're going for. I don't think is a good setup. And I think if you build up more of like who this guy is, and you could misdirect, right? You could talk about like how he's this brilliant scientist and they're all excited to finally meet him. And then when they get there, things aren't quite right. I think that would be a good way to sort of like, okey doke them into, oh shit, this guy's actually a bad guy.
Yeah.
Or like have the dad play a role if you're going to bring it up.
Yeah, that would have been just the gun on the wall just never went off, unfortunately.
Right. Like if he was like, say her dad is like in hiding in the ship, right? Like, so they think they killed him, but he's in hiding and he helps explain what went wrong. And maybe he comes up with a plan of like, I've been trying to do this, but I needed more people. Glad you're here. Now we might be starting to get somewhere with some plot, but
well,
I don't know.
A good return to the film room though. Are we going to do another one for Thursday since we're still in the off season? Because I have a suggestion. I just watched this. I just watched for the first time the Super Mario Brothers new movie. There's the new one coming out.
Yeah.
I have some thoughts, and I would be up for making that our Thursday movie, since we really don't have any news, and all we'll have to do is to preview the upcoming game against, I think, Red Bulls. Is that right?
God, Chief, why did you ask me? I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. Don't fact check. Don't fact check me on this. I don't give a shit. Why don't we make that? Because we already did the original Super Mario Brothers movie with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. I think it's only fitting that we do the new one, because I'm going to be honest with you. I saw the news drop that Fox McCloud's going to be in this new movie. I'm like, that was finally the impetus that was like, all right, I should go back and watch this first one, because now if we're getting a Nintendo cinematic universe, this is now I'm intrigued now.
I'm in favor of this. I feel like Grayson might object, but I'm fine with overriding that.
It's 90 minutes. He'll find time. Like he can watch. He can find time to watch a 90-minute movie.
Yeah, because I have a lot of thoughts on Nintendo as a company with what they're doing right now, and I think it'll be a good conversation with that.
All right, so everyone in the Discord, that'll be Thursday's movie. A little bit of a palate cleanser after a 70s sci-fi movie. We're gonna do something a little more modern, and to get us hype about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. We're gonna be reviewing Super Mario Brothers in the film room. So you have 72 hours to get that watched if you haven't done it. It's available streaming, I think, on Peacock is what I watched on last night.
Yeah, it's NBC, I think, or Universal NBC owns the movie rights.
Yeah. So, all right. Anything else for the people, Kevin, since Grayson's noped out after that scintillating conversation?
The only thing I have is we are, in fact, playing the Red Bulls.
There we go. Fuck Columbus.
The Cincy Postcast is a production of The Post Cincy. You can check us out online at thepostcincy.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky, Facebook, and Instagram. Twitter and Blue Sky, though, you'll find we're a little more active than the other places. We're also on YouTube, where you can listen to this episode if you aren't listening to it already. We are also putting up video content semi-regularly, including the Away Days series. We want to give a huge thank you to Jim Trace and the Makers for providing the music for this episode. They're a lovely band, and you can find more information out about them in the description of this episode. And if you happen to enjoy what you just heard, can I please ask that you like us, that you rate us on whatever app you're listening to, and maybe more importantly than all of that, share this episode with a friend. When it comes up at work, you're talking about FC Cincinnati, I say, hey, I listened to an FC Cincinnati podcast. I think you guys will like it. It would really, really help us out. Nothing helps a podcast travel more than a good recommendation from a friend, family member. That would be awesome. When it comes to the sorting algorithms that control our lives, a 5-star review would be much appreciated. Also, leaving a sort of written review weirdly does more than that. That's how the algorithms work. So maybe say a nice or a mean thing, whatever. Just as long as you give us 5 stars, that'll really, really, really help us out. And if you are looking for more MLS content, check out our other podcast, The World's Gam. Again, a link will be in the description of this episode. That is where we touch on league-wide storylines and news, and we talk about other games and a couple other teams in there as well. I think you will enjoy it if you are just dipping your toes into Major League Soccer. A huge thank you to all of our sponsors. A even bigger thank you to all of our patrons over at Patreon. But maybe most importantly, thank you for listening to this episode.